If you have ever stared at an Excel sheet knowing what you want to calculate, but not quite remembering the exact formula, you're not alone. That moment is exactly where Microsoft Copilot can help. Copilot acts like an assistant inside Excel that can turn plain English into working formulas and then help you check and refine them. Used well, it speeds up analysis, reduces errors, and helps more people in a business build reliable spreadsheets without becoming formula experts. Copilot is designed to help you create, explain, and troubleshoot formulas. In practice, it's very useful for suggesting the right function for a job and then building the full formula. It will help you write formulas that reference structured tables and named columns. It will explain what an existing formula is doing in plain English. It will help to fix formulas that return errors like #NA, hash value, or hash spill. And it would offer alternative approaches, such as looking at XLOOKUP formula up instead of using a VLOOKUP. The key is that Copilot is not guessing randomly. It reads the context of your workbook, including headers, table names, and the shape of your data, then proposes a formula that fits. So before you ask Copilot, set your sheet up properly. Copilot will perform best when your data is clean and clearly labelled. So, for example, use a single row header with clear column names. Make sure that your data is turned into tables. The way you can see this, if you click into the data, is you will have a table design ribbon up at the top. If it isn't a table already, you can convert your range into a table using Control and T. So the columns have names. Avoid any merged data cells in the data areas and keep consistent data types in each column. So keep dates in date columns, numbers as numbers, that kind of thing. You could always put some comments somewhere else on the spreadsheet if you want to keep notes. But I would suggest a separate sheet for any notes, which you could hide later. So the best prompts for Copilot describe three things: the result you want, the columns involved, and any conditions. So in this spreadsheet, I've got a sheet for customers and a sheet for orders. What I'd like Copilot to help me do is to use the customer ID to pull the customer name from the customer's table into the order sheet. So I'm going to launch Copilot, which is here on my ribbon, and it opens up in a pane on the right. I will turn on autosave. My spreadsheet is saved as a spreadsheet, so it's in the right format for me to do this. And then I'm going to message Copilot. So basically, help me write the XLOOKUP formula to pull customer names into the orders sheet. So then I click on the send button here, and we'll see whether it can do that for us. As you can see, on the orders sheet, it has brought through the customer names as a new column, C, and the order date is just here. I'm just going to widen that column so that you can see it. So that's great. Let's have a look at the formula that it's created. So I'm going to click into C5 here and let's have a look. So it's written quite a big formula here. Up on the formula bar, you can see the formula is if, and it's looking in the customer ID column. And if it's blank, if there's error, it's going to do a blank. That's what the two speech marks mean. And it's going to look up the customer ID in the customer's table and it will put in the customer's name. If it can't find it, that's why it's if, it's going to put unknown. So I have left a couple in the customers here which haven't got a customer name in the orders. So we've got an unknown here, for example, and an unknown there to test it out. So that formula is working well. And you must say that was very quick, very quick. So that's an example of how you could use Copilot to help you when you can't quite think your way through a formula. I do think it's a very good idea to understand Excel when you're using this, because you must be able to look at it critically and check that it's giving you the right answers. So one little test that you could do is you could just manually check a few random ones here. So order number 1 is customer number 9. It says it's Foodies store. Let's go back to the customers. Look for customer number 9, and that's the Foodies store. So that one's correct. If I just pick another one, I'll look at number 6, Farm Foods. Is that correct? Number 6 is Farm Foods, just here. And I'll do one more just to check. So let's look at number 10, Bulk Buy Mart. And number 10 is Bulk Buy Mart. So that seems to be working well. Notice there's a little green dot before the orders sheet now, and that's because Copilot has helped you with it. Okay, so I'm going to accept that. It's on autosave, so it's updated with that formula now. I don't need to use Copilot for anything else in this exercise, so I'm happy with that. I hope that that was useful for you and you can think of an example to try this with in your own work.